now we need to do the business part of the meeting that we try to keep as brief as possible. So we did not have a meeting in December. We had a meeting in November. Those minutes have been sent out, and there is one printed copy on each table. Is there anyone that's seen something they object to on those minutes? And
I move we adopt those minutes.
okay, second. All in favor, say aye.
For the folks on Zoom, the motion to adopt was made by Dorothy and seconded by Betts, I believe.
And hey, do we have a quorum? Actually, I got mixed up. Okay.
It says we have a quorum.
And now we have 3 minutes for the treasurer's report.
Okay, thanks. Hi, I'm your new treasurer. This is my first treasurer's report. It was a slow month, so this will be short and sweet. We started with $5,200 in the bank, made some money. All of our income since the last meeting was recurring donations. Thank you very much, everyone who's doing that. It helps a lot, goes a long way. If you would like to donate, and you don't want to have to keep thinking about it all the time, recurring donations is the way to go. Set it and forget it. And then you can happily ignore me from here on out. Otherwise, I have envelopes for donations. Those of you who have been here before will be very familiar with these. I didn't have time to go put them out on the table, but come grab one, see me. If Mari wants to hand some out, that would be awesome. Please fill them out. And whatever amount you feel comfortable giving would help us out greatly. Expenses since the last meeting, just the subscription to the Zoom account, which we need to do because our meetings last longer than 45 minutes. And so that pretty close to balances out. We've got about not quite $5,300 left in the bank right now. A couple of small points. This is pretty much a high level overview. Depending on how much meeting time we want to take for this report, I can dig into a lot more detail, but I'm seeing shaking heads. Yeah. So I'll keep it high level. If anyone would like to dig into the details, you are more than welcome to come see me, and I will be happy to go over it in as much painful line by line as you would like to see. And not even just in the meeting, at any time, feel free to ask. My email is up here, chd@chud.net. Feel free to send me questions, comments, feedback, anything you'd like to know. And I will be happy to go over that without taking everybody's time of the people who are going, oh God, is this over yet? Any questions really quick here? Okay, back to you, Rosemary.
Do we need to approve it?
Second.
Mari moved to approve and Mike Bryan seconded the motion.
Hi there. We have okay. We have dues that you can pay, which would really help the LD. They're $20 a year, and you can put cash, you can put a check, you can donate through Act Blue, and any of those kind of ways are great. But the dues really help us get started. And since we spent an awful lot of money on the election to good effect within our LD, now we're a little down. We need to boost that back up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mari, for touching on that. I meant to, and I forgot. For those of you who are new, Mari is our former treasurer and still being very helpful. So thank you very much.
And we will be working on a budget for the year. And so if people have input to that or are interested in it, that will be presented in February or March. Also, of course, we will be doing much more fundraising. So this is but we do want to make it fun fundraising. So the Pima County Democratic Party, did you want to report?
Pima County Democratic Party met first Monday of the month, as we always do. I frankly do not remember a whole lot about the meeting, which always happens to me, and we don't get our minutes in time for me to be reminded, except that we did get to meet the new director of the Pima County Dams, Alex Cack, and he is a great guy, flexible, and is getting help from Shelley for the first, as long as it takes to transition until he takes it over. I do remember that one of the things that he talked about, we had LD reports, as we always do. And our LD looks great. I just want to point out in terms of what we're doing, et cetera. What was I going to say about Alec? That he's young, for one thing, right on. He is not in the 50 and over crowd unless he's really, really making an effort to look younger than he is. And he's very fired up about our ability to do podcasts. And so they are looking for subject matter for their podcasts. I do not know whether they have an audience yet for their podcasts, but I don't know if everybody remembers that that was that they got a grant from the state in order to be able to do podcasts. So if you're interested in a particular issue, like I would love to do Know Your Rights on our podcast, for example, talk to Alex Cack. He's the one who's looking into it. That's
We reach him.
he's at he's at Shelley's address, director at pimadems.org, I think, something along those lines. Try that. Try that and see if Alex answers.
I appreciate
Okay.
hearing it.
And if anybody remembers any more, go for it.
The other thing is that they have committees and they are looking for people to be on those committees. There's the bylaws committee, the platform committee, the DEI committee, and which we will keep. We're not getting rid of that. And the special fund, which will be special fundraising. And so if those things interest you and you're not able to say canvas or do some of the other things, this being on these committees makes you attend some Zoom meetings and you get your opinion in on things. And then we have the Arizona Democratic Party report.
For the folks on Zoom, Paul Eckerstrom had to leave early.
Oh, Matt.
We have Matt Calpeby, who's also,
We had a very interesting state committee meeting for those who went to. It was a very transformative shift that occurred. All but two of the state executive board were removed. Our Paul Eckerstrom and Shanna. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, Shanna's new. And the recording secretary from Pinell County. Sainer, yes, Lisa Sainer, were the only two that were reelected. Two, all the vice chairs and executive positions are brand new. Two, and that's actually where Paul, he had to leave because they're having their first executive board meeting right now at 6:30. Two, and so we have a brand new chair, businessman from African American businessman from Phoenix named Robert Branscombe, and Tucson's sorry, yes, Kim Corey is the new first vice chair, which means that Kim and Robert will be representing us at the Democratic National Committee. They're actually flying out tomorrow morning for their first meeting. So it's a very interesting time. Of course, you never want to waste a good crisis, of which we now find ourselves in as a nation with this. So we're going to see a significant cultural shift in the way that the party operates. And I think it's going to be very, very good. It's definitely going to be a lot more grassroots driven with this new team of executives coming in, and very, very excited about it. So please stay tuned. And just before I came here, I was meeting with Eric Robbins and Alex Cack, talking about how we can better engage our precinct committee people too. So I think that's absolutely key moving forward. So very excited about where the state party is going. So thank you.
Come on up. So we are having, one of the issues we started working on last year is because one of our PCs Mary Alice brought it to our attention. And this is where, when we talk about affordable housing, when we're throwing people, when people lose their housing, we can't really keep up with it. And so this is an effort to, on this end, to see that the housing and rent and utilities people pay are fair. So go ahead.
Thank you, Rosemary. My name is Mary Alice Thoreau. I've been working on this problem with corporate landlords that are taking over the parks in the state of Arizona, purchasing them for, 4 years. And the problem is that some of the actors are bad actors. And they are coming in, purchasing the mobile home park, jacking up the rent, forcing out the current residents, the Arizona residents. I'll use my park as an example. My park sold in 2019 to a corporation. They raised the rent 42% in 3 years and forced out some of the people. And I don't know if you realize that most of the people that live in these parks, 40% are single women, seniors we're talking about, 20% single men living on one income. And the average income, according to the study that I worked on with ASU, Knowledge Exchange, the median income for the people that live in the mobile home parks in Arizona is $25,000 a year. Okay, so what's happening? My park sold again in 2023. The first corporation bought it from a local family and paid $18 million for it. $18,500,000, I'll be exact, okay? And then 3 years later, 4 years and 3 months later, they sold it for $29,650,000. They made no infrastructure improvements. They, paved one side of the street, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the problem with the mobile home parks. The big issue that we had, Rosemary attended the meeting where we had people that are actually living in RLD that came and spoke about their utilities. There are some corporations that are using everything they can to force people out. So, and utilities has come to be one of the things that they're using. And $500 to $900 utility bills when they previously in the same mobile home were not that bad. So they can't pay it, so they evict them, and then they seize their mobile home and either resell it or rent it out, depending upon if it's a rental mobile home park. So there's some bad things happening, very bad things happening. And as I said, those people that came, I had the Arizona Director of Utilities, who I know, come down and witness the meeting. And Tom Ekstrom was there, and Rosemary, and Kevin has done some work in the mobile home area as well. And so it's just bad. So anyway, I don't have much time. I could talk to you for an hour, but the one thing I want to tell you, most people think, oh, well, business is good. We want people to come in here and buy a property. Well, I will tell you the real story. The mobile home park that I live in pays $71,000 a year in taxes. The residents collectively pay $69,000 a year in taxes. The mobile home park corporations that owns it are not consequential employers. They have 2.5 employees. If you're lucky, they got 2.5. Some managers manage 2 parks. So they're not consequential employers. They're coming in here and they're forcing elderly people into assisted living, state living, when they can get in, or they have to go live with their relatives. And I know I'm over time, 30 seconds. Okay. So anyway, I do have a lady that has done a forensic, she's done a study, let's say that, on who actually owns these parks. My park traces back to an investment company in San Francisco that does investments for foreign investors, likely China or Hong Kong. That's the most we can figure out about it. It goes to that company and no further. So I would like to get you to do some work for me and writing to some people. And so if you're interested in doing some work on writing to legislators, I would like for you to write your name and your email address on a piece of on a paper over here. And I have an appointment with the director of Arizona Department of Housing on February 7th.
Yeah, wait for Mike, please.
I just wanted to let you know your calls have been heard. And I know Betty Villegas is drafting legislation, at least on eviction notices. I think maybe we need to work more on the mobile home concerns. But I spoke to one of their staffers today. They are drafting language. It is underway too. So everybody, please contact Betty with your concerns and stories. They need to hear more of these because they're going to want you to testify once the bill hits committee. That's really going to be important to get people up there. We can all carpool, go up and testify in one of the hearings so they understand what these stories are. So very, very key.
Thank you. When you write Betty, mention mobile homes. Okay. And the second thing that I want to say is that we really need to work hard on this, and Rosemary is dedicated. And I thank all of you for listening to me. And, you know, I could go on for hours because it's really, really dreadful. So I'll stop.
Okay, well, thank you. So these are the issues as we are working in our neighborhoods that really people relate to. So we have been working on a plan for the LD. When we have handouts, and we're going to spend I plan to spend half an hour, but we're spending 10 minutes, and Leslie's going to address us on the regional leaders.
No, I'm on the Zoom screen. Anyway, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Leslie. For those of you that do, just when you thought you were rid of me, I'm going to be around. I happen to only be on Zoom tonight because I didn't do very good planning, but hey, what can I say? One of the things that we started this last term were the regional leaders. And I am hoping, and I think Rosemary is hoping, that we will continue with that. What I am asking you for tonight is to consider becoming a regional leader. And I don't need your, oh yeah, I want to do that right now tonight. But what I would like you to do is, if you think you would like to be a regional leader, or you think you might just want to find out more about what a regional leader is, I'm hoping to have a meeting on the 6th. So you're welcome to come. Also, prior to doing that though, I would like you to send me your name and your phone number. I will get your email if I don't have it when you send it to me. My email is lesliestalk@gmail.com. That's LESLIESTALC @gmail.com. I hope that some of those people or all of those people who were regional leaders the last couple of years will continue to do so. However, we have lots of room for any other people that would like to come, and we can use some fresh views, fresh viewpoints. Regional leaders really are important because they are the ones who can start by reaching out to the PCs that we have in LD20, focus on getting more PCs for LD20, and then doing the work. And it could be postcarding, it could be phone calling, it could be canvassing, but most importantly for this particular year, it's going to be listening. And I think those are things that we're going to talk about again on February 9th. I had the thing turned over. And so if you would get in touch with me via email, I will return your email to start a conversation. And I will send you an invite to the regional leader thing. So anybody have questions?
People have handouts on the table explaining the regions and a map of the regions and do a little more
they do?
explanation.
They do? Okay. You can find out if you don't know, you know where you live, but if you know your precinct, you can find out exactly where you are located on that list and in whichever region. We had some really, really good regional leaders last time, and I'm not going to name who was great, but you know who did a great job, and I'd love to have more people. It's an important job, and you can take as little time as you want or as much time as you want, and I suggest that you give it a shot. So that's it. That's all I have to say. And I'll see you in person in February.
And what I kind of went out of order was the overview of the plan. We have some good ideas on developing the precincts. And from LD12, they're in Maricopa County, they increased their participation rate by 33%. And what they did is in the precincts where they didn't have precinct committee people, they called the Democrats who had voted in the last 4 elections and actually sent them the PC applications. And Michelle and Karen have done a lot of work, and they'll just briefly go over it, and we will be taking your comments and working on this more.
Hi, I'm Karen, and that's Michelle. Feels a little strange to be up here in front of so much experience. I'm relatively new to activism, and it's a little overwhelming because I know you guys have been in this fight for a lot longer than I have, and I honor that and appreciate that. So just looking forward to hearing what everybody has to bring to the table. So this also feels a little absurd to be standing up here talking about a plan when we've just endured 7 days of hell. I don't know. Does anybody else feel that way? So I think we'll probably touch on that a little bit later, but just personally, I'm not mad at Democrats. I'm not angry. I think we have, things that we need to work on, of course, but we have values that everybody aspires to, right? Healthcare, clean air, equal justice. What we need to not do is back off of that, but to really friggin' lean into it. And that's what good works are about. Thank you, Dorothy. Hold your applause, please. It's more about leaning into, the good works that that we all can do. But we need people, right? We need the resource of human beings to get out there and all of us doing this together. I feel at times quite overwhelmed by just how big things seem, but I also feel a lot of hope from just the beauty of us, right?
Sorry. Your mic. Okay.
That's how important this is. I want you to hear
You're not muted. Audio mute. You muted the video.
Oh. I'm gonna close out.
Hello? Okay. No worries, no worries. So people, what we want to do, one of our ideas is to do like a precinct tour, which is to go precinct to precinct to precinct and reach out to people and bring in more volunteers, maybe to make them PCs eventually, but at first, maybe they just can volunteer and do some canvassing and talk about the sales tax and talk about, the rapid response network, whatever it might be. But we need people, and we need everybody in this room and on Zoom to reach out to your 100 people, right? Because we can't do this. Well, maybe we can, I don't know, but the 50 of us need another 50 and another 100. And we need to build and build and build. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, right? But this is it, guys. This is go time. We need human people. We need everybody to get more people involved. Because what we want to lean into are things like, the trailer park, right? The rapid response network. Excuse me, mobile home park. Maybe you can tell me the difference because I'm ignorant. Thank you. Leaning into providing housing, providing food, providing clothing, because those are the values of the Democratic Party, right? Wow, you guys are a tough crowd. So we need people just to get out and do the good works that we think are our values, the democratic values. And this is just the beginning, right? This is just an outline, right? We can't go over every aspect of this plan tonight. We need for you all to go home, digest it, see what fits for you, see what team works for you. Are you a data person? Do you want to get on the data team? Are you a canvassing person? You want to get on the canvassing team? We have all the teams labeled here.
And you can volunteer tonight. You can give, we have forms, we'll take it. What I especially want is for people to think about what works for you, because it's wonderful. We are such a different group of people, and some of us can canvass. I have a lot of trouble. I don't like it when people knock on my door, and so I walk up and down my street, and if I see my neighbor, I talk to him. Some people, the better off. You guys, stand up. They know how to organize and work with their neighbors, and they're going to be a resource to help us do that. So all of you are a resource, and if you know now what you want to work on, write it down and we'll start plugging you in. If you have more ideas of things that need to be done, write them down and turn them in. This was our brainstorming, and so we're pretty excited about it, but it's just fantastic because this is a great group of people. Yes, Bets?
So I looked over the plan and got really excited about it because I agree with you that our values we need to live our values as Democrats. People need to know that we're Democrats when we're living our values, right? That's my feeling anyway. Maybe the party represents that, maybe it doesn't, but we represent that and we are the party. So, but my question is, once the structures are sort of set up, how will the communication within the LD work? Like, will different subcommittees do reports? Will there be cross-pollination? Or have we not gotten that far yet, which is fine too?
We're working that out right now and it'll develop and get better and better. So sign up. We'll put it on the website where people can sign up. Dorothy just came up with a great idea. So it'll make it easier and you can sign up for a team that you're interested in, or even if you have one that you want to bring up and maybe we haven't included here. But we have our plan and look where you can be active and bring people in who want to be also helping and be a part of the solution here so we can all do it. Okay.
That is really crucial, which is, our next meeting is, all of our meetings are the fourth Monday of the month. So if we could ask you, sorry.
Except in May, the fourth Monday, it's like Memorial Day gets in there. So May and September, it'll be, I think May is the third Monday and September's the fourth Monday to avoid the High Holy holiday. So, but overall, if you write that, yes?
May I give you some numbers so that you really know the scope of this problem? There's over 1,000 mobile home parks in Pima County. And anywhere from 25 units to 650 units. And I realize that the majority of you have probably not lived in a mobile home park or are not familiar with mobile home parks, but I'd suggest that you find one and drive around. There are some very nice ones and there's some that are desperately in need of care. But, they are very popular with winter visitors too. And so, we're talking about thousands of people. And, a lot of them are over 55 mobile home parks. And so my park is on Ruth Roth. It's called now Bella Capri with the new owner. They changed the name. I would suggest if you want to come and drive around in my park, do it. Because you can't work on something that you're not familiar with. You can't help somebody if you don't know what the problem is. So thank you.
So now we are moving to how we can, okay.
Just one more thing. In terms of numbers, Barbara can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have 50,000 Democrats in LD20. 50,000? Approximately 50,000 Democrats, registered Democrats in LD20. We've got maybe about 50 here. That's not 10%. That's not 1%. We got a lot of room to grow. We have a lot of resources in LD20. Sorry.
Thank you.
So now I'm opening the floor to the life and death struggles of what's happening, and if you know of a resource that you would recommend.
Is this the angst part about
Yes.
what the hell we're living through?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to point out that I have yet to take the training, but I've become a part of the rapid response network that is responding to the possibility of mass deportation. There are raids. There are attempted raids that are already taking place in Tucson. The news is soon going to be covering a couple of them a couple of people got separated from a 17-year-old out in front of Home Depot in Elcon Mall. And fortunately, there just happened to be a news reporter waiting to go into Home Depot, I believe. So, so if you want to, if the idea that, you know, half or more than half of the population that you live around is scared to death, you might want to get involved with Derechos Humanos. They have meetings every Thursday night at 5:30 at the Global Justice Center. They have a number of different committees. There are committees that are archiving and documenting what is going on. There are committees that do rapid response, which really just means that you hear that something is happening and you go out there to get eyes on it. They have committees for accompaniment, both legal accompaniment and just human accompaniment, like the large group of pregnant women who meet for prenatal care, who are scared now to meet for prenatal care. They just need human beings who are citizens to get them from one place to another. So there's a lot of need out there. You can do things as varied as just going around to all the small businesses that you see and handing out cards with the rapid response telephone number on it. You can hand out cards that basically have on English on one side, I am not going to speak to you. I will give you my name. I will not give you any more information unless you have a warrant, etc. It has the same thing in Spanish on the other side. There are a million ways to get involved. Derechos Humanos is on top of most of them. So I really recommend that if that's your biggest trauma that's happening right now, my family is almost all immigrants, and so it's about my biggest trauma, that's for sure. That show up at Derechos Humanos every Thursday night, 5:30. The meetings are not on Zoom. The meetings are primarily in Spanish, but there are a number of interpreters. So, and there's stuff to be done by people who speak English. There's stuff to be done by people who speak Spanish. There's a place for everyone. So join us. Thank you.
And here's the phone number for the Community Rapid Response Team. Get out your notepad right now. 520-221-4077. If you'll have me, I'll be a lead for responding to pop-up deals on the street. And it's the Community Rapid Response Team from Derechos Humanos. And most of you know me already. Contact me. I'm thinking also that there are 3 ICE offices here in Tucson. I believe we should have an ongoing presence in front of them every day with signs that simply say mercy.
Could you drop the phone number one more time and I'll put it in the chat?
That phone number goes to a person who is monitoring the phone calls and will ask you for your identification and for where you're calling about and what you're seeing, basically. So it may be a useful phone number for you to have, but if you know somebody who's got a business, or if you know somebody who's going to work every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning on the major cross streets, because that seems to be what they're hitting, they all need that number. And there are bright yellow cards that are being handed out. Glue Factory is making many of them. Cecilia's got a couple in the back there. So get a hold of one and in order to actually respond to the Rapid Response Network, you have to have a training, which I have not had yet. There's gonna be a training on the 9th, on February 9th at Southside Church at 2 o'clock.
Could you drop the phone number? Give me the phone number one more time so I can drop it in Zoom chat.
This number for information, you call this number to tell them that you are seeing ICE try to pick someone up. Yeah.
4077. Thank you.
0077. 4077.
520, right?
Um, the next slide, if you want to advance the slide, I think the next.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm a new PC, and this is from the sublime to the slowly. Oh, dang. I'm going to call you Dottie now, Dottie Lou. Sorry, Dorothy. Okay, so it's from the sublime to the ridiculous a little bit, but we're not on Blue Sky, and I don't know how many people are on social media, but there was a mass exodus from X and the Meta platforms, and a lot of people have gone to Blue Sky. It's a lot of people. They're not all Democrats, but they all think like we do. So I think it's a huge resource. And since we have to pace ourselves with what we're doing from here on out, because we're going to get tired and we're going to get discouraged and we're going to get sad and we're going to get frustrated and we're going to get angry, it's a good place that has a lot of like-minded people. And I think there are other LDs on there. I know LD18's on there, and there's quite a few others. And when I looked for us, I'm like, oh, we're not on here yet. So I don't know that I can set that up, but I think that we need to be on there. And I think it's just a good community when you're feeling discouraged and you can't get a hold of one of us. There's a huge world out there that is opposed to dump trucks. So that's it. Okay.
Anybody else?
It's a positive, really positive effort that's going on right now. You may have heard, although the major news didn't carry it, that there was a National Prayer Breakfast, which is an annual event. And the leading speaker at the National Prayer Breakfast was Episcopal bishop from the church in Washington, D.C. And she spent 20 minutes with Trump sitting right in front of her in the front row. Okay. Telling Trump that you needed to be humane, you needed to be considerate, you needed to have Christian values, et cetera, et cetera. Trump left the meeting calling her an extremist, radical terrorist commie. So there's an effort to send actual physical letters or postcards to this woman, praising her for her courage and for that we're on her side. And I will ask to have, let's see, Rosemary put in the next email the physical address of sending a letter to this woman, praising her and encouraging the support.
Hi, I'm Betty Harris, first vice chair, if you don't know me. And I just want to say that we do some little things with this organization. And one of the little things is a trash pickup. We have a mile of Aho Way where, you know, we go out once a month or once every 2 months and pick up trash. So we're doing that on February 8th at 8 o'clock. We meet at behind the Starbucks at Ajo Way in Camino de Oeste. So we'd be delighted to have any of you join us. If you are interested in doing that, you might text me at 520-977-2154 to get information on, because this is an ADOT thing. We have a little sign that says LD20 picks up the trash here. So they give us bags and safety vests. So I need you to look at their safety thing, which is like, don't pick up a rattlesnake or you know, a bottle of pee or something like that. So anyway, that's one thing. The other thing is that I put out on some of the tables a piece of paper, and I don't see any of them around right now. Okay, thank you. Asking that we don't, for those of you who haven't been here before, we don't always do potlucks, not every meeting. But for the last year or more, we've had people volunteer to bring a snack or drink. You know, one person brings drinks, one person brings snacks. The LD usually provides plates and drinks and plates and napkins and stuff like that. So if any of you would be willing to do that, either next month, at the February 24th meeting, or March 24th meeting, or April 28th meeting, one or the other, or maybe two of you go together and say, we'll share bringing in snacks or something like that. So if you could, before you leave, if you don't mind, put your name and your telephone number on one of those sheets and dates and stuff. Thank you.
February 22nd, Tucson Peace Center is having the Tucson Peace Fair. This year's theme is demilitarization of our lives, of our border, of our world, etc. And if you're interested in coming, it's from 11 to 4. There will be many, many, many different activist groups in town. A lot of times I find that newcomers say to me, so how did you know about this? Or how did you know about that? Tucson Peace Calendar is how I know about a lot of things. It's a good resource. And many of the member groups that contribute to the Tucson Peace Center calendar will be at the Armory Park that day, February 22nd, Armory Park, 11 to 4. Good music, food trucks, good politics. I mean, really, does it get any better than that? Come dance with us. Thank you.
So I do have the dates of our meetings for the year. So February is the 24th. March is the 24th. April is the 28th. May is the 3rd Monday because the 4th Monday is Memorial Day. And the center is closed. 19th, May 19th. And then June is the 23rd. August is the 25th. And then September is the 29th. So September will be the 5th Monday. Well, I probably probably stuck together. We didn't have a meeting in July last summer. We'll see but I have the room reserved for July 28th. Since we're doing okay, and then we also have Sadie here from the school board if she has anything to say. Then October's the 27th, November's the 24th, and December would be the 22nd. Usually we just try to have a solstice party in December, but it just keeps getting messed up. So I'm sort of suspicious about December. If the candidates and our elected officials want to introduce themselves, I think we have time for a couple minutes, 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sadie Shaw. I serve on the TUSD governing board. But gosh, last time I was here, I was campaigning. And so thank you for those who voted for me. It's great to serve another term. I'm really here just as a citizen. I live in LD20. I live in this neighborhood, Sugar Hill, just down the street on Elm. And so I'm just here to support the work of the Pima County Democrats. And yes, thank you for everything you do. Let's see. And if you're interested in the business of TUSD, we do have a board meeting tomorrow, 5:30 at Duffy. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, LD20. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to introduce myself. My name is Miranda Schubert, and I'm running for the open seat on Tucson City Council to represent Ward 6. So it's been great to see some familiar faces. I definitely met some of you when I ran for the same seat the first time in 2021. Also great to meet some new people, and I'm hoping to have more of a presence at LD meetings because I think it's really important. But the other thing that's important is local. So I'm excited to connect local causes with what's happening at the state and for us all to talk to each other more. I currently work full-time at KXCI Community Radio as operations manager. Yeah. Thanks, it's a cool job. I'm also on 2 City of Tucson commissions, the Board of Adjustment, and the Complete Streets Coordinating Council. And I'm also a community organizer. I started a local group called Tucson for Everyone. We focus on housing and transit issues and really wanting to promote more public engagement with policy discussions and helping people to understand how they can make their voice heard, because it can be pretty intimidating. I'm running on issues around safer and better streets for all, wanting to implement the Complete Streets Coordinating Council's policies in a more effective way, balancing all the needs of the users of the road. I'm really interested in housing, capital A, affordable housing, and lowercase a, naturally occurring affordable housing, such as mobile homes. The city of Tucson actually recently received a grant from HUD, $7 million to address some of those problems. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I thought you looked familiar. I'm also really interested in climate adaptability and partnering environmental resiliency with economic resiliency. I really think they go hand in hand, and that we have to center people and not profits. And then the economic vibrancy will follow as a result. I think we make it so that people have more money in their pockets when they are not spending so much money on housing and so much money on transportation. I think it's okay if you want to use the car to get everywhere, but you shouldn't have to. So I'd like to see more investment in public transit. And I've also been really active in conversations at the regional level around the RTA Next plan and wanting to see that look better for Tucsonans. So looking forward to connecting with you. We'll be doing our own precinct tour of Ward 6, knocking doors. So perhaps some of you want to do double duty, knocking doors with us and also with LD20. And we'll stick around. We have information if you're interested in learning more. I also have nomination petition pages with me. I'm collecting signatures right now to qualify to get on the ballot. I'm also collecting donations to qualify for public matching funds. I'm running as a clean elections candidate. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. Well, I remembered 2 things that I definitely need to talk about. The Peace Fair, there will be a table. We're trying to partner with the Democrats of Greater Tucson, and we did that at the Martin Luther King event. And it's fun, and coming and being you don't have to table all day, but coming for an hour or 2 is really a energizing experience. So that's the Peace Fair is what day. If you want to actually sign up to table, you can email me, and I'm working with Susie Anderson, who's actually is one of our PCs, but it's not hard for her to get out at night. And I don't know if the next tabling in March is, Cecilia, you get up, come get the microphone.
Good evening. We're going to have the celebration of the Cesar Chavez Dolores Huerta rally and march, and it'll start at Rudy Garcia Park, and then we'll be tabling afterwards at the Rudy Garcia Park. We usually go from Rudy Garcia Park. You can leave your car there. We're going to all meet at Pueblo High School. We'll go end up back at Rudy Garcia Park, and we're going to have a wonderful event. We're also going to have a car show there. So there'll be vendors for food, and we are doing our scholarship for our students. So we are charging about $25 per chair, per table for tabling. Okay, so thank you very much. The date is March 22nd, Saturday. What time? It'll start at 8. We'll start getting people at 8, and we'll actually start marching at 9. Is that correct, Eva? Eva should be up here talking because she's the the co-chair of she is the chair of the Cesar Chavez Dolores Huerta Coalition. So thank you. And I'm here because I'm a union member and I am also the chair of the Pima Area Labor Federation. Just got elected last month. So
And then we do have a beautiful website for LD20. It is capital L, capital D, 2 O, capital D, EMOCRATSAZ.com. And Barbara she keeps it up well, but she loves pictures or events. So, send them either to her. The LD has also a Gmail account. And if somebody likes to do that, I would love to turn it over because I'm very bad at looking at it.
The question was, is there a directory of members?
So there's something called the LD20 database, and it's very good. However, because it has a lot of confidential people's information, you can't really access it unless you're given permission. I could probably help you with it. You have genuine reason to use it. So I will, it's a great resource, but unfortunately we live in dangerous times.
Yeah, our chair has access to the LD20 list. She can send you information on a person if you just talk to her.
One of the things that happened at the Arizona Democratic Party meeting was about exactly this, the fact that the state committee members did not have each other's information. And so some of us wondered, why can't we organize among ourselves? And they are now going to an opt-in situation where you can basically put your name into the list and say, yes, make it public and available to everyone. And so I personally would like to see LD20 do the same thing because it's ridiculous to have to go up to the top in order to come back to the bottom when the bottom is the base. That's who's doing all the work. So I would like to ask for us to figure out a way to make our list a list where you can either opt in or opt out as far as making your information public.
I think giving people the option to opt out is very important.
Whichever, but I think we should move to a system where the people who want to be able to get in touch with each other can.
We are at 7:30 and we need to be out of this building at 8. Do I have a move to adjourn? Okay, we're out of here.
All right, we're wrapped, people. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, that sounds like everybody. Any opposed? Don't see any. Thank you.